Hello Shisha, welcome back to 2013 question paper discussion. As we move on, we'll look at a fact about brain power usage. It's nearly 12 watts. It's really a less amount than your computer, I can say, but it is more powerful than your computer. But all it takes is training. All it takes is a dedication. Once you're able to control your brain with a lot of functions, you are a genius, isn't it? So go ahead, try your capacity and control it, then it controls you. As we move on, we look at question 46. The Bowman's capsule, a part of kidney, is a site of filtration, and Bowman's capsule is also called as Malpighian tubule, where the primary process of filtration takes place. 47th one. In human brain, the sensation of touch, pain, and temperature is controlled by the it's again parietal lobe, option A. Parietal lobe is meant for the feelings. Most of the feelings will be controlled by this region only. Next slide, 48th one. Pathogen which cannot be cultured in an artificial medium is virus. Because virus is a non-living thing, it cannot be directly cultured. Through bacteriophages we have to manipulate it. That is the only option, whereas others can be manipulated. 49th one, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2 is characterized by the separation of. So for this you have to be very clear with the terms that we use for the various structures of chromosomes. Once you are aware of those terms, it's easy to identify the answer here. So homologous and sister chromatids. Now let me show you a pic so that you can understand it well. I think it's slow. Oh my god, it's so slow. Okay, so here is a big homologous chromosomes. It is called a centromere, and these are chromatids, and it is duplicate chromosome. You know, the difference between this is one will be coming from your father, another one will be coming from your mother. So according to the answer here, you have to compare that homologous chromosomes and sister chromatids. So homologous chromosomes are this, and sister chromatids are the ones which divided or duplicated. Right? As we move on to next question 50. People suffering from albinism cannot synthesize. It is called as melanin. Melanin is produced by a cell called melanocyte. You can see the structure of cell here. So this cell is an important one which continues or which enables your normal skin color. If it's not being maintained, so obviously decoloration of skin takes place, which is a major symptom of the people who are suffering from albinism. So the right answer is B. 51. Short-sightedness can be corrected by using. We knew that the functioning of eye, or the important sense organ in the body, so the people who have short eye, they have this problem. The image which is being formed, it is not reaching to the deeper end of the eye. So when we actually use the concave lens, so it makes the image to be falling on the proper region of sensation, so there won't be any absurd image or the partial image inside the eye for the perception. So 51st one is the concave lens. As we move on, next question is 52. A person with blood group A. It's always advisable to draw a chart of blood groups so that it is easier for you to answer any sort of question without any doubt. So first thing is you have to differentiate the blood group, antigens, antibodies, and whom should they supposed to donate. So like this, simply donate blood to, receive blood from, and here the question is A can be donate blood to and B receive blood from. Simply A can give blood to AB positive, and B can receive blood from B positive, O positive. So now we can easily match the answers here. So 52nd one is B, where the others are not giving corresponding answer. Now if you practice it, you can do it by looking at it. I usually do like that. Next, 53rd one, animal cell after removal of nucleus still contain DNA. The source of this DNA is, it's obviously mitochondria, because mitochondria is also called as semi-autonomous organelle. It has its own DNA. So there is always a possibility of forensic department to find extra DNA from even the dead cell, which is not too long, right? Next, 54th one. Uh, which one of the following combinations is found in DNA? It is the guanine and cytosine. So this is the only one you can find, whereas other ones are like, of course, those are biomolecules, but they are not combinations of DNA. Next, 55th one, which one of the following is not a mode of asexual reproduction? So except conjugation, you can see all of the other ones are asexual mode of reproductions. Hence, conjugation is right answer. Generally, conjugation seen in paramecium species. You can see the fimbriae, F plus F minus refers to the fimbriae, where those are like hair-like structures. They form a particular tube, and then the genetic material transformation will take place. So this genetic material transformation is a primitive mode of sexual reproduction you can see in the animals as well. Let's move on to next question. 56th one. Which one of the following class of animals constitutes largest biomass on Earth? So it's insects. So I found this interesting information because the insects are really huge amounts. So 20 quintillion. So these are really a, a big number. So this obviously going to lead to a huge biomass of species, particularly terrestrial. And next, 57th one, in the digestive system, the pH of stomach and the intestine respectively are. So the answer is, I know as we go on, you can check this one here. So in stomach, you can see it's really a big amount of pH, and then it's suddenly falling to 7.0, isn't it? So the answer is acidic and neutral. Hence the answer, oops, I'm sorry, it's acidic to alkaline. So in the range, I'm sorry, I forgot the range parts, 7 to 8.5, it could be even alkaline as well. Hence the 57th one answer is acidic and alkaline. Next, 58th one, the major nitrogenous excretory product in mammals is its urea. So uric acid in birds, ammonia in the fishes and aquatic organisms. Amino acids, it depends on metabolism, but it's not a major one. The next, 59th one, which of the following plant traits characters is not an adaptation to dry habitats? Sorry. So the answer is the epidermis without cuticle, stem and leaves. So we have to analyze this not. Hence the answer C is correct. Epidermis which has a thick cuticle and even stems and leaves also covered. Usually the plants which you see in your surroundings, they will not be having that much adaptation. but the xeric plants, they'll have a large, a very much developed wax layers even. Let's move on to last question of part A. Biological diversity increases with productivity of an ecosystem. Which of the following habitats do we see the greatest diversity of species? It is considered as the tropical evergreen forest. In India, you can see such regions like Western Ghats, Eastern Ghats. So these are the regions where you can find much diverse species. Okay, that is the end of part A. Now we move on to part B. In part B, the sister chromatids of chromosomes have. So here I try to provide you illustration. So it is a gene and homologous pairs, and you can see the sister chromatids. See here gene X, which have different alleles. The same genes are there, but different alleles are seen here. Hence, different alleles and same genes at the same locus. So locus refers to the same position as well. So whereas other ones are false. Next, a diabetic individual becomes unconscious after self-administering insulin. What should be done immediately to revive the individual? So immediately you can provide him the energy, because insulin which was injected by the individual maybe going to remove all the blood sugar. The metabolism will be very active, so immediately we should provide him some energy to insulin to work on and his normal metabolism to continue. Let's move on to next question, 78th one. A regular check on the unborn baby after of a lady towards end of a pregnancy showed a heart rate 80 beats per minute. What would doctor infer about baby's heart condition from this? No, it's really amazing fact. The 80 beats is impossible in in pregnant women. It is not really a good sign of the baby's condition or the pregnant woman's condition. So it is always advisable to have more than 100 or 180 bits even. Let's look at this chart so that we can understand it. You can see here approximate target heart rate during pregnancy. You can see anywhere you will not come across any sort of 80 heartbeats. Hence we should supposed to go that 78 as slower heart rate, obviously. Next question, 79th one. The uniformly watered plants 1, 2, 3 were kept 45% relative humidity, 45% relative humidity with blowing air. So remember, plant 2 has relative humidity with blowing wind, and plant 1 just relative humidity maintained and 95% of relative humidity respectively for the third plant. So arrange these plants in order fastest to slowest in which they will dry up. Hence, the wind blowing the relative humidity, which makes the plant to go for transpiration in larger amounts. Hence, it leads to plant to dry up first. So 2 in the first, and due to 45%, so next without wind blowing, but still it is really a bad sign. So the plant 1 dries up, and finally plant 3 is going to dry up. So these were the sequence you should supposed to follow here. Last question of part B. Many populations colonizing a new habitat showing logistic population growth pattern over time as shown in the figure below. So here a new population is introduced. So what happens to the population after a particular time? So here I try to provide you the various points of population changes. When new population is introduced, so the rate is going to increase rapidly. After a certain period of time, due to lack of resources or it could be a possible reason the mature organisms are also going to die. So the declination will take place over a period of time. So here we can say the answer 4 is correct. Increase to maximum and then decreases. That's it. This is the end of this paper discussion. So I'll meet you next time with new paper discussion.